Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Love Without Borders, Season 1, Episode 10, the season finale. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we start out with Gabby and Charez. So they're going to the beach, and Gabby is telling him about the Jersey Shore. So she brings up her brother getting married while she's going to be there. She's the best man or best woman, so she has to be there. He asks what was she going to be doing after the wedding. She's like, well, I'm just not really sure. He said, well, maybe you should just go home. She's like, you kicking me out? Girl, you didn't plan on staying no way. So she says she's feeling more homesick than she thought she would. Ma'am, you just got there. Okay, you just got there. We saw you, a good 3 episodes? So she said she's going to always have love for him in her, and always have him in her life. But at what capacity, she's not sure. So he's hoping that she's going to come back to Dubai. She's not. So then she's like, I just really care about you. I just want you to know that. He said, it's okay. I'll wait. Child, don't hold your breath. Dana Montana and Brian. Dana Montana, Dana Montana, Dana Montana. And I got to say it one last time because this is the end. So she's having a cup of tea. So he comes in to sit down with her. And she wants to back up to their previous conversation and pick back up where they left off. So she tells him that she thinks he's really kind, but he's inconsistent, and that makes her feel unsafe. So he disagrees. Of course you do. So he said, he was a little bit inconsistent at first, but since then he hasn't been. Baby, Dana Montana came with the receipts. Do you hear me? She came with the receipts. She said, let me remind you, because I wrote it down. Here you go. I bet you did. Dana ain't got nothing but time and space and opportunity, honey. She ain't got nothing but time on her hands. Time on my hands. Shout out to Mary J. Blige. So she said that he called her broad and said that she had big hands. He said, well, you have broad shoulders. It's a compliment. Oh, he really thinks Dana is an idiot. Okay, he really thinks she's a dummy for sure. That's a compliment. Another one said, are your boobs fake? He was like, it was a genuine question. The girl has huge boobs. I just wanted to ask a question. It's genuine. Okay. I know that they cast these people for shock value and for ratings, but don't ever, and I mean ever, let me see Brian again. Not ever. So she was like, they really hurt my feelings. So then this weasel face douche gonna say, if you're hurt, it's because deep down you're insecure. No, sir. It doesn't work like that. You say things that are offensive and then try and lie your way out of them. Dana, I don't know why you would even entertain him at this point. I don't even know why you're giving him conversation. It's clear that he invalidates your feelings. He doesn't care about hurting them. He's unapologetic about wasting 3 months of your time. Girl, get your ukulele or whatever that is you be playing on, honey, and head on back to Montana. Brian is a little weirdo, child. Giving straight up little weirdo energy. He said that she's blowing things out of proportion and he feels like she's building a case against him. And she says she's just telling him how she feels. Dana, do not talk to him. Don't worry about saying one more word to him because guess what? He don't give a damn. Girl, don't say nothing else to him. Not nothing. He's like, I just feel like you're vindictive and you're attention seeking. How dare she want to be respected by a man that claims to want to date her? How dare you, Dana? Dude, are you serious? But Dana, listen, I also have to blame you. Because if you're keeping a log of everything negative that he has been saying to you, then you already knew it was time to exit. Okay, you knew it was time to exit when he said he was not physically attracted to you. There was no way that this relationship was going to work. So I don't even know why you were sticking around. Was it for a warm place to lay your head down? Like, I'm not understanding why you stayed so long. Moving forward. Maybe that's because I'm zero tolerance. Honey, I don't have time to play with you. Okay, I will give you more than, enough time to correct behavior. But when you refuse to take any responsibility for how you made me feel, then I can't deal with you, honey. I just can't deal with you. I'm just not going to be able to do it, honey. These days, I am zero tolerance. But there is no way Brian, looking how he looking, would have me feeling down. Absolutely not. So he tells her she's a time bomb waiting to go off, and he couldn't be with a woman like that. So he gets up and leaves. Great, because I don't think she was looking to work things out with you anyway. Naim and Ori, his girlfriend. So child, they meet up for a night out, right? He said the more the time that he spends with her, the stronger their connection is. Well, child, anybody better than that Sour Patch Kid that you were matched with at first. So child, let's see what's going on, honey. Let's get into it. So they're talking, and he asked how often she cooks. And she said, I cook every day. He's like, every day? She said, okay, maybe not on the weekends. I don't want to cook. Listen, Ori, do not overpromise. I cook every day because of my son, but it is tiresome. It is so tiresome thinking of what to cook every day. Sometimes I don't even want to eat, honey, because I don't want to cook. I'm like, oh, Lord, Charles, please somebody take over. That's why when I get a real bag, baby, I will have an in-home chef. I'm not cooking nothing. I don't like to drive. I don't like to go to the grocery store. I don't like to get gas, and I don't like to cook. Child, I'm ready for the soft life, honey. Oh, please, soft life me. He said he wouldn't ask her to cook every day, though, because he would be trying to learn so he can cook for her. Sounds good. Child, he is so smitten with her. I need to see his exes, because I don't think he's had a lady as pretty as Ori before, because I can just tell how infatuated with her he is. So she tells him that she prayed for a man like him, but she already has a life there in Panama, and it's going to be hard for him to just pick up and leave and change like that. Child, he ready to risk it all. That you ain't got to worry about. Naim said, for you I will. Shout out to Monica, honey. He said, look, I can work here. I can get paid in American dollars. I can have an American salary, bring everything over this way, and I'm ready to move. I'm also thinking about starting a business. So then he asked her what a healthy sex life would look like for her in a marriage. How did we go from the working abroad to, so how often will I get sex? Like, say what? So she kind of blushing a little bit, and she's like, well, how many times? You mean like how many times a week? He said, no, I mean how many times per day? Oh, child, please. Y'all got to work. This is not college, okay? In college, we were doing it like rabbits, okay? You could stop, go to a class, do it, come back, go to a class, do it. But now, honey, we got work to do. We got work, baby. We ain't got time for that, honey. We got work to do. So she was like, oh my gosh. So she started laughing. Chandra would have flipped that table over if Naim said that to her. Do you hear me? She would have flipped that entire table upside down. She seems to like him, though. She does. She said he makes her laugh, and she likes the way that he makes her feel. He makes her feel like a natural woman, honey. So then he asked her if she's ever visited Jamaica. Child, he all over the place. I guess it's the excitement, honey. He went from, are you cooking? Are you cleaning? Are you having sex? Have you been to Jamaica? Like, what are you saying? She said no. So he tells her about the dance hall culture in Jamaica. So he gets up to show her a few moves. Child, he finally got somebody to get up and dance with him. I think we found a winner. Okay, I wonder if that's his thing with women, trying to get them to dance with him, because he did the same thing with Chandra. So it's like, what is happening? Child, at least you was a good sport, because I don't hear a lick of music. And I mean not a lick. Dana, Montana, and Brian. So it's one day later, right? Dana moved to a hotel to get away from Brian. Honey, I don't blame you. So he gets a call from Erica. But as he's going to answer this phone, why he look like he slept in his clothes? I said, oh, child, he don't even look like he brushed his teeth. Do y'all hear me? So she asked what happened, and he said that he's upset because Dana is twisting his words and manipulating meanings and making him the bad guy. So Erica tells him what Dana told her about how she's being treated. So he starts making excuses. So she lets him know if any woman heard the things that he said to Dana, they will be crushed as well. And before he opens his trap, he needs to think about what he's saying. He's like, well, I mean, I just feel like there are 100 ways to skin a cat. Erica, you're wasting your breath. You really are. You're wasting your time. This man said that he is the victim. He is really twisted. He thinks that he is the victim. No, the victim is all of us. The victim is Dana having to be subjected to the likes of you. The chickens that you go out there to mess around with on the farm are the victims. Anybody that comes in contact with you is a victim. He's like, I don't need this. I didn't sign up for this. Oh, honey, he giving Dateline. He is giving Dateline vibes, honey, because he don't know when he right and when he wrong. That means he doesn't have a conscience. And that means he's liable to do anything. And that means that when he unalives you, he's not going to think anything about it because you made him hurt you. I don't trust it. Child, I can't be bothered. Gabby and Charez. So she's leaving for the wedding and she's like, I'm so happy we had this time together. So he's feeling frustrated. He's feeling sad. He's hoping she'll come back and he doesn't want to say goodbye. She knew she wasn't going to stay when she came over there, honey. She knew it. She's like, I really don't want to hurt him, so I just need to figure out my feelings. Girl, gone. Moving forward. This is what I want to know. Why did y'all bring a second person over here to dismiss Charez? I mean, she did it in a nicer way and at least she said goodbye. But why did you do this? What was the reason? In my Cardi B voice, why did you do this? Child, this is a mess. Phil and Carmen. Now, this right here was a fool. Do y'all hear me? So she made them some dinner. They sit down to eat. And so she tells him that her friends keep asking about him. So he was like, well, how do they feel about us dating? She said, oh, they want you to be a part of us. A part of us. Child, a part of their friendship. Okay. You've been friend zoned. So he tells her that he's been wanting more and he feels like they have a lot in common. So he wants to know what that means going forward. So she tells him that she's not into him like that. When I tell y'all I was embarrassed for him. But I mean, he should have seen this coming. She says that she just wants to be friends. Oh. And then he asked her, well, why won't you give me a chance? Now, me personally, I think it's because you didn't get physical soon enough. But maybe that's just me. But she said that he's not ready for a relationship. Okay, girl. She said he needs to work on himself. Both of y'all need to work on yourselves if you really want to be real. So he's trying to argue with her about it. Phil, don't get creepy, okay? She want to remain friends, okay? Y'all aren't a match. Y'all argued at least 3 or 4 times early on and really don't have that much in common. I didn't see anything that the two of you had in common. She likes to go out. You like to stay in. She want to get it popping. You don't want to have sex. Her friends like to party. Let's all get wasted. And you are trying to preserve your liver. So you decided not to drink. So what do y'all have in common? Okay. Moving forward. So she says she feels like him losing his mom stunted his growth as a man. Girl, what? So they show a flashback of her asking him to fix like the washer and dryer or something. She basically didn't feel he was man enough or even man enough to make a move on her. She's like, he didn't even make a move on me. I mean, it's just too late. So you blame his mom passing on him not fixing your washer and your dryer? Girl, get real. Carmen thought he was corny, just like I said. I told y'all that in a previous review and I'm not changing it. She thinks that he's corny, and when he didn't try to have sex, she was even more turned off. Carmen, do you even know anything about him? I'm sure you don't know too much, but you want to lay down with him. Girl, so he said that he saw great potential. This is what he's saying in his confessional. He's like, I saw great potential with us, and I just don't know what happened, child. You the only one that did. So he's looking at her. He's like, I'm confused. About what? What are you confused about? So he asked if he should be there. And she's like, yeah, I mean, I'll show you around. I do that with my friends all the time. Oh, baby, it's a wrap. But I would ask Philip to leave because I don't think he's grasping the fact that this is not going to happen, that it's going to be nothing. And I don't like that. Okay, I don't like when people don't take the hint. And you're telling him, and I don't think he's getting it. Phil and Carmen. So it's the next day, right? He's packing up his things. And he said he had a lot of hope, but it's just not happening. So he had a night to think about it and he's ready to go. So he goes in to talk to her and tells her that he can't just be her friend. She was like, well, I don't see more with you, so I don't know what else to tell you. He said, it's okay if you don't see more. I don't want you to change. I don't want you to change how you're feeling, so I'm leaving. She's like, well, I'm angry and I'm upset. This is what she's saying in her confessional. She's like, I'm mad that he's abruptly leaving. Carmen, you are wearing me thin. You literally just said that you only wanted to be friends. So what are you keeping him in your house for? Just in case one night he wants to do it? Like, or you change your mind? Like, what are you keeping him there for? So she goes into his room, honey, because she is 38 hot. Okay, she goes into his room. She starts crying. She's saying she's upset and she was hoping to find love and this was her chance and she feels cheated. And he's like, well, you said it was nothing between us. Like you said it was nothing. She's like, I mean, friends don't leave the same day. I am confused. I'm so confused, Carmen. You don't like him in that way. Were you hoping that he chased you? Like you didn't find love with him, so why are you crying? And why would he stick around? Just why? There are so many whys. So baby, they started arguing. I said, see, this is the reason why it's not going to work right here. Both of y'all are playing games. He's leaving, hoping that she'll chase him. She mad, hoping that he'll chase her. Y'all need to grow up. Dana Montana and Brian. I wouldn't even let him breathe the same air as me. But maybe that's just me. So, child, they meet up. And she tells him why she went into the whole thing and why she went into this experiment. And she said she had her feelings into it and she was really into him, but it wasn't reciprocated and it hurt her. And child, count your blessings. So he's like, well, I did care about you. She said, well, I didn't feel like it. So then we hear Brian say, well, I've lived with a woman before, so I don't understand. I knew it. I knew you lived with a woman before and she decorated that house. I knew all those floral patterns weren't courtesy of Brian. I told y'all, review number 1. I said, child, a woman must have lived in this house because I know dang on well Brian did not decorate this house. I know he didn't. So then he tells her, I stand by how I was each day and I wrote something. But then he starts talking gibberish. He's like, we're in a loververse universe with capitalism and communism and consumerism in a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like, what are you talking What are you talking about? Brian, what are you talking about? So Dana said in her confessional, what are you talking about? Consumerism? Sir, save it for your podcast. Honey, I know that's right. So she tells him that he's going to great lengths to not take any accountability. And he really is. So then he turns it back around on her and says she manipulated things to play the victim. Baby, it's one born every minute. Do you hear me? It is a fool born every minute. I can now add Brian to my list of reality show men that make my skin crawl. Brian, you have made it to the Hall of Fame. You're right up there with Chris from Married at First Sight, season 12, and Garrick over there on Seeking Sister Wife. Get right in between those two. Okay? You have earned your spot. So she tells him that this isn't going to be healthy for her and she deserves better. And, she hands him back his makeup remover pads. I said, baby, she came with all the props. Do you hear me? So then this man gonna say, one last hug? Oh, Brian is growing audacity out on that farm. He definitely is growing audacity out of it. Scram, farmer boy. She does not want to hug you, touch you, none of that. Goodbye. She's like, no, I'm good. Honey, I know that's right. He's like, well, that's a relief. I don't have to walk on eggshells anymore. He said, okay, well, find the love of your life. She said, oh, honey, I will. I know that's right, honey. Tell him, Dana. I will find the love of my life. Don't you worry. So she tells us that she's fallen in love with Ireland. So she's going to stay there for 2 more months and maybe she'll find love. Well, nothing to rush home for, honey. You sold your van, so enjoy the vacation. Phil and Carmen. So he goes in to talk to her after she came in to talk to him. Child, this is too much. She's still crying. He tells her that he had hope for them, but he doesn't want her to change how she feels about it. And she's like, well, I wanted love, but he's doing all these things, celibacy and purging. Why does everything go back to sex? Carmen, you are worth more than that. Okay? It's almost like Carmen is worse than a man. All you want is sex. If he wasn't celibate, it would have worked out. I'm just really curious. Would it have worked then? Like, what is wrong with someone respecting the boundaries that they've set for themselves until they're ready? You're actually not ready for a relationship either. Because you think it's only successful when a man wants to bed you. You don't have to lay down in order for things to spark. You're worth more than that. Child, Carmen gonna play the victim if she don't do nothing else, child. She should get over there with Brian. So Phil said, his mom said, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And lately, she's just been tolerating him. And she does treat him like the little brother that she does not want to tag along with her and her cool friends. It gave that. Like when they went out with her friends, she was treating him like, why are you here? Now, maybe that's just how I took it. But he's clearly stating right here that she was only tolerating him. So child, she walks him outside to his ride. And he did say that he would miss her. But the process showed him that love can be anywhere. But he deserves love in someone that will put his needs before theirs. That's where he lost me, child. Say, what now? Your needs before their own? Philip, that's not healthy, honey. Boy, gone. Gabby and Charez. So she FaceTimed him after the wedding. So he tells her that he misses her. She says she misses him too. And so he's like, so when are you coming back? So child, she starts speaking her speech, honey. Gives this long drawn out speech, but tells him that she will not be coming back. just as I suspected. She said she always saw herself living internationally, but when she got home, she realized how much she was missing out on. Well, child, that was a waste of time. Poor Charez. She's telling him how great he is and how this is going to be, something she'll always remember, but it's just not going to work. So in his confessional, he said that he was hurt, but he realizes that he prioritized other people before himself. And if you don't have self-love, then you really have nothing. And he feels like everything is going to work out for him. Absolutely, Charez. You cannot lose yourself in a person, because when they're gone, then what do you have? You're going to be left with you. So if you don't love you and if you don't like you, that's going to be hell. So Phil, this is what I mean by the person doesn't need to put your needs before their own. You want someone that is able to balance. Child. Anywho, I hope Charez finds a nice woman for him. Gabby knew the whole time she wasn't staying there, child. Just a waste of time. Naim and Ori. So he said God's purpose was to send him to Panama to meet her. And he's in love with her. In love? Sir, it's a strong infatuation at best. It's been a few weeks. Because, he was over there with Cruella DeVille. And then she was over there dropping it low and picking it up slow with that ex. Then he went to the club, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I don't know the timeline, honey. But love? Okay, let's go with it. Let's continue. This is my thing. I think Naim just wanted a woman, any woman from Panama. It didn't matter. I'm not saying Ori isn't nice, but love? Really? Okay. So they're having dinner, and he tells her he wrote her a poem. So he reads it and then tells her that he doesn't think he can see a future without her, and gets down on bended knee and asks her to marry him. I said, what is going on? Listen, y'all, what we are witnessing right now is a Married at First Sight, Love Without Borders crossover episode. I said, baby, what in the all or nothing Married at First Sight is happening here? Child, oh, honey. His mama gonna be pissed. That's all I could think about was that mama, child. But, she actually said yes. I feel like it's too soon, but they do make a good looking couple, honey. And if they happy, go on, set yourself off. Not the only match being the one Naim found for himself, honey. Maybe next season they need to hire him. Moving forward. So then we get an update, because that is the end of the episode and the end of the season. So we get an update. In a shocking turn of events, Gurleen found her person in another woman. So her update reads, the experience taught Gurleen to let her guard down and find inner peace. And sometimes it just takes a woman's touch. Child, Gurleen probably still fussing. And don't let it be that time of the month, child. She probably tearing that house down. You hear me? Charez is back at home. He's single and he's happy. And he decided to take a year off dating and focus on himself. Unless Gabby returns. Gabby is now brunette. And she is still looking for her dream guy. And it still may be Charez. They're still close and she's visiting soon. So then they shoot on over to Aaron, and he's back at work, and America suits him well, and he knows who the president is. Y'all sure? Over with Mael. He's moving to a bigger apartment. Oh, congratulations, Mael. I'm so happy for you. And he's currently single, but they said his heart is even bigger after the experience, just like his apartment, and it will have a closet space for two. Who wrote this? They need to be fired immediately. Like, it's still justice for Mael. Okay? Free Mael until it's backwards. We want justice for Mael, honey. So then we catch up with Phil. He's still creating music. He hasn't spoken to Carmen since he got in a cab and drove away. He's still celibate and working on his music, which he feels will lead him to love. Then we catch up with Carmen. Girl, I love that hair. I said, okay, hair. It was so pretty. She's focusing on her business and being successful. And her update reads, she's still dating around looking for Mr. Right. She wants an independent man, not afraid of malaria or making the first move. Child. We catch up with Dana Montana. Dana Montana. She dated another Irish man. It was also a no-go, but she learned to address conflict before it boils over while wearing her falsies. And she returned to Montana to be near family and find her next van. Yeah, you're going to need somewhere to stay. You're going to need somewhere to stay, child. We catch up with Brian. He's still a single douchebag. Moving forward. So then we catch up with Chandra. Honey, you see how they put them back to back? Charlie, they ain't fooling me. She says she's learned to love herself first. She's single and learning to laugh more, even if the jokes are bad. And she's still friends with that ex. On over to Naim and Ori. He moved to Panama and he's saving up for their wedding in early 2023. And he can't wait to live happily ever after. Well, child, at least it was one success story. No thanks to Erica. I wish them the best. If you found someone and you know that she's the one, then go on, skip off into the sunset. I wish you nothing but success. But I do wonder if their mama likes her. And that was the end of the season. All that money to send them abroad. But y'all didn't budget for a reunion? Let me speak directly to the people over on the Bravo. Andy is not the only one that can host a Bravo show reunion. Every single show that has a reunion, Andy has to host it. Why don't y'all fly some other hosts in so that we can get reunions for other shows? Because I wanted to hear from these people and catch up and see how they felt watching this back. I mean, the updates are good, but I was looking forward to a reunion. Child, don't y'all come back with this. We don't need no season 2. We're fine. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about season 1 of Love Without Borders. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.